U.S. stocks jumped, nearing a record 30,000 on the Dow, after Moderna said preliminary trial data showed its coronavirus vaccine is more than 94% effective. The vaccine news comes as coronavirus cases in the U.S. increase. Here's what 5 experts are watching. Alli McCartney, managing director of UBS Private Wealth Management, sees a perfect backdrop for markets. The 3 segments of the population that are general buyers and investors in this market: it's the old retail investor, which is sort of predictable, the new retail investor, which is not, and then it's the institutional investor. Institutions have largely had really good years, and they don't want to take a lot of near-term volatility, even with a lot of the good news that we're seeing, so our sense is that there's still a lot of underinvestment, and we do see volatility in the next few weeks. But we have the perfect backdrop. We have promise of an efficacious vaccine. We have an election outcome that actually in the gridlock is probably better than anybody was expecting. And we have this rotation driven by EPS revisions up, so long-term bullishness, short-term volatility is where we are. Ernesto Ramos, managing director and head of equities at BMO Global Asset Management, expects promising earnings growth. I call it Vaccine Mondays now, because 2 Mondays in a row we get vaccine news, and it drives the cyclicals forward. But if you look at the economy, we're poised for pretty strong growth in 2021 relative to 2020. And also, especially important, earnings growth in the S&P 500 is expected to be by the consensus estimates about 30% in 2021 after having dipped 18% in 2020. So the fact that we can now see through to the end of the COVID pandemic because of the presence of the vaccines allows the market to just focus on that outcome at the end of 2021 and disregard the bad news around the short term. Greg Fleming, CEO of Rockefeller Capital Management, advises investors to have a plan. For us with clients, we're very focused on long-term plans, and making sure to do that with somebody who's providing advice. As you know, at Rockefeller, we've got high-end private wealth advisors that are providing counsel to clients. They bring family health and services in so they can do generational planning. That's a really, really important thing in markets like this, and you see it when it's not possible for anybody to be able to call the types of things that are happening in these markets. What happens in the next few months? The market is obviously looking out 6 to 12 months based upon the notion that the pandemic will wind down in 2021 as we move through it. So advice, having a plan and sticking with it. Very, very important. Jim Cramer, host of CNBC's Mad Money, highlights a new driving force in the markets. There's a new young crop of buyers who do not sell on the news.